Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and we're simply going to open this one up with a bit of pedestrian silliness, as happens all too often. You know, a little bit entitled and think, you know, even though they have the right of way at junctions, not necessarily where they light controls. So here we go, we've got a light going green, chap over this side here, he's got a red man and he knows he shouldn't be crossing, but he does so anyway when he knows there's a green light. He looks, he knows he shouldn't be doing it. He makes no real effort to get across there quickly, but goes anyway. Why do people just take risks like that? If it would be anything other than us or someone get away quickly at the lights, that could have been real awkward. Okay, this one mini random, but no real dramas here. Car coming from the left, should be giving way to us, doesn't. I'm not even entirely sure they look. We're coming up, we're indicating right to go right, here comes the car, and we basically get there just before them, but they're not stopping, they just carry on going anyway, and they make us stop. I don't think that person actually looked, to be fair, and then we carry on. Not too smart, but I'm glad to see my pupil was on the ball there. Okay, on this clip we're looking at the back to start with, and three really stupid vehicles in my opinion. We've stopped for a reason. When you see the front camera you'll see what this is all about. We're dealing with a hazard, and I think my pupil done exceptionally well here. And then if you look at the impatience of the vehicles behind, all will become clear when you see the front camera. I think this is utterly and absolutely ridiculous by all three of these vehicles. Total and utter impatience. That was very bad. It's that junction there on the right we just passed where the incident occurred. Now we'll look from the front and it'll all become clear. So there you go, we've got horses coming up here. Now we've slowed and stopped before that junction. We kind of figure when they're coming up, that's where they're going to go, which they do go down there, but we keep a nice distance away, as you do with livestock is concerned. So we're waiting for them to clear out the way completely before we then move off. And then you saw the impatience of the idiots behind us who could not wait to pass us while we were doing that hazard. That's some pretty awful driving, arrogance, impatience. The fact we come across this all the time, I don't know why it continues to surprise me how people can be so arrogant on the road, but there you go. And there we go, this guy's even turning left, he couldn't even wait. Now this is a particular piece of dangerous driving. We've got an Asda electric vehicle delivery driver. First of all, he starts off by getting very, very close behind us as we're going down the road, and that's always a bit of a red flag. What we're doing, we're coming down, we're approaching a roundabout, traffic come and measure basically, and he's still very, very close. Then he does this. And he goes right on a mandatory keep left roundabout. And then we end up doing an emergency stop around the other side of it. Now I'll show you the front view from this, and then it comes a lot clearer to what went on there. But he clearly done a very, very bad move. You don't often see this coming because you don't expect people to be this stupid on the road. But there you go, you never know, do you? You've always got to anticipate. Now here we go, we're coming up to this traffic cone measure, this kind of mini roundabout, which is a keep left. It's quite clear. You go around the left hand side, and that's what we did. And as you quite saw, he went around the right side, and when we got to the other side we ended up doing an emergency stop. Really, really poor by this vehicle, and it was very much that. Got his number plate. I will report him to Asda at some point or another. I believe there's no point in reporting that to the police because, as always, I'm sad to say, they never follow these things up, not in my experience. So there is real no point in doing so. Big long form to fill in, and generally over the times I've done this over the years, they've never followed it up. But I'm hoping Asda might take a dim view of this and take some necessary action. Okay, in this clip here, what we got is a left only lane, as you can see. There's one, and we're in a straight only coming up to a roundabout. It's pretty straightforward, and it does tell you quite often that you are in a left only lane, so you shouldn't be there if your intention is to go straight on. And here we are again. That's the second warning, and there is further down the road there's even more warnings, but I just picked it up at that point, don't want to bore it too much. There's a car pulling over into our lane, got the message, but what we're looking at is a black van. There's the third one coming up the road. It knows where it wants to go, and it has no intention of getting this slow moving queue. Here it comes. It feels it's very special, of course, and it doesn't need to queue like everybody else. And we'll have a look at the front view here, and as you see in the road, it's very, very clear, well painted. You know, if you're going left of this roundabout, by all means be in that left hand lane where you should be, and if you're going straight on, then be in this lane. Everybody else seems to get the message. And even right coming up to the roundabout, same. It's got two more keep lefts, look. So no one can say it's not well signed. And here comes the van up on the inside, and there it is, and it most definitely has no intention of going left. And as we coming up to the roundabout itself, you can actually see the van pushing over to the right, and that explains it as a whole, and carries on. It's quite dangerous. He's stopping that car from the right from feeding around as well. But that type of, imagine if everybody else has started doing that rubbish. Anyway, on to the next. Okay, in this final clip, we are looking at the A3. We've got all that roadworks going on, where people seem to get in the wrong lanes and push in where they shouldn't. They prefer not to queue, of course, and that Range Rover is no different. He's looking to go across solid white lines where he shouldn't be, to barge his way in. Not really sure what he's waiting for. Is he going to do the same thing? Unknown. If we look forward, we'll see that Range Rover and how he's holding up the traffic up front. And then I believe in front of him is a Mercedes, and I think that's one of our Uber friends who also believe they can do as they feel in these situations. There's lots of broken white lines there that could have got over into the appropriate lane earlier, but no, they have to wait till the solid white lines appear. Here comes the Range Rover trying to get across, and in front you can see this Mercedes doing exactly the same thing. Yeah, not very good. Okay guys, thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you again. Watch out for those learners on the road. Take care, look after yourself, and drive safely. Bye bye for now.